Hi, this is Steve Wiideman. 2017 brings with it tons of new opportunity to improve where you appear in search engine results and how you can really introduce yourself to new audiences by thinking about ways that solve problems for your users. Google's made it clear in the past that there's two major ranking signals they pay the most attention to. Ranking signal number one is content and how relevant your content is to what the user is looking for and how well that content performs across different devices and internet connections. Second is links to your website from other websites. That continues to be a strong ranking factor for Google. It helps understand in sort of a system of votes how important you are. So I'm going to give you a few tips to help you with 2017 SEO strategy focused around those two specific elements, content and links. Number one, are our web pages the most professional and the easiest to use regardless of what device or internet connectivity you have? Think about that. Go to the competing pages in Google, look at how competitors are creating their pages, and then look at our page and see, is it the best result? Do our pages perform well with Google's new testing tool? I don't know if you've seen this or not, but if you go to the Google Page Speed tool that you used to use in 2015, it's been replaced by a new, better, stronger tool that really looks at mobile and desktop usability and page speed. Some really good insights that'll help you understand where the opportunities are to improve your mobile, desktop, and usability performance. Are we using page acceleration services and technologies such as content delivery networks and this new accelerated mobile pages technology if required? If your pages are already performing super fast to mobile users, you don't really need to worry about this AMP thing very much, but Google and the AMP project have worked together to create this amazing environment to help developers create pages that perform a lot faster. Not just for editorial, don't be fooled. eBay has launched millions of pages that are performing really well in mobile search results with that pretty little AMP lightning icon. Next, number four is, does our page best solve the problem our ideal customer is trying to figure out? Again, compared to the top ranking pages. So you look at those pages, maybe pull them into some keyword tools like SEMrush, maybe pull them into some link tools like Ahrefs. See what people are saying about that content and how they're curating and linking to and mentioning some of that content. What is it about their content that stands out, that makes them rank? Making sure that we're really solving the user's problem, especially for broader queries where not everybody's looking to buy, or not everybody's looking for an answer. They're maybe looking to compare, trying to understand what the users are looking for. We use a service called Mechanical Turk, and we survey people and we ask, why might you search for this particular keyword? Number five, are we maximizing the amount of structured markup that we can provide for rich snippets and these new rich cards that you're seeing at the top of sort of the carousel result in mobile results? Number six, are our pages HTTPS by default and protected from DOS attacks and malware attacks? This is extremely important. The internet is becoming a hive for hackers, and it's getting really scary. In fact, sophisticated hackers are using devices that don't have any security, like printers and cameras and things that have internet connectivity but don't really have any sort of security, to figure out ways to hack internet networks. So really important to make sure that you've got systems in place. Some people use services like Cloudflare to make it easy. Others will use more advanced content management systems like Drupal, or maybe some advanced plugins for services like WordPress that do have a little bit more vulnerability. So making sure that we're taking action to make sure that we're providing a secure, safe place, particularly if we're taking in customer information. Number seven, do our pages offer a diverse enough amount of content, such as unique videos and illustrations and helpful takeaways that you can download and share and print out, maybe even put in your glove box? We have an attorney client we work with who has a download that you can put in your glove compartment, so that if you do get in an accident, you can pull that out of the glove compartment and go through this checklist of what you need to do if you're in a car accident. So making sure that you have a diverse enough amount of media on your page. You think about it, all the competing pages out there, if they all just have paragraph after paragraph after paragraph, and they don't have any rich media, and you're the first one to come out there with a custom illustration that really helps visually solve the problem, and a video that gives you some authenticity about who you are and as a company, as a brand, and how you work with clients and how you can help. Huge difference that makes you stand out from the competing pages. Number 8, are our pages so good that even a competitor might want to link to them or maybe copy a snippet of the content because you've done some research and you found out in your industry that 65% of users like this particular thing, and your competitor borrows that content for their sales proposition because you've got the data to support it. It's happened to us. People curate and link to our stuff all the time, competitors included. Next one, have we done enough forensic work to understand every way a user might search for us and build a taxonomy around that research? Now I know what you're thinking. Google Hummingbird came out a few years ago, and it's about interpretation. It's about not having to try to obsess over a keyword because Google understands the semantic. Google knows that lawyer also means attorney, also means law firm. They know that, and I understand that. What I'm talking about is the forensic research around keyword ideas that you might not have thought of yet, that aren't semantic to something you've already created. We have a client in the stairway business, and we learned by pulling in all the keywords we could around competing domains that their customers search by indoor and outdoor. They search by type, like deck and patio. They search by material, like iron and wrought iron. There's a million different ways that people search for services and content. And so if you do your research and you spend that time and you really understand with this really ugly, exhausting Excel spreadsheet how people search and organize that into the different categories on your website, you end up with a new taxonomy with styles and uses and materials, a million different ways that people might look for what you offer. And now you're giving them more options to help them find the content that's important to them through your navigation schema. It also helps, of course, if somebody's performing a search for wrought iron stairs, because now you've created a page that addresses that person's use where just the word stairways wouldn't have solved that problem, hummingbird or not. And number 10, again, going back to this being content strategy and really focusing on what we can do from a content perspective. Do we have a living, breathing calendar of helpful problem-solving content with names of micro-influencers who we would like to have contribute to our content strategy? A micro-influencer is somebody who's really interested in a particular area and talks about and shares content in a particular area, but doesn't have 1 million followers. And those guys are out of control now anyway. The only way to get to 1 million follower person in most cases is to go through their agent. They all have agents now. They're all in these influencer networks. They get paid to share content. They're just not someone we want to go after anymore. So in 2017, for content marketing, our influencer target are going to be the micro-influencers, 5,000 to 100,000 followers who share content in the industry, or maybe if you're local in the area, or you can get in front of a broader audience. So there's some things for 2017. Thinking about link building and what we could do to earn links through relationship building and some ways to attract links to our website, here are 10 ideas that I'd come up with. Number 1, for 2017, who are the individuals, companies, and influencers who frequently share and subscribe to our competitors? That's not hard to get. I mean, you can go to Twitter and you can watch all the competitor behavior, tweets and replies and other things that are going on and see who's sharing that kind of content. They're not always employees, they're not always customers, but if they share content enough because they have an interest in it and they're not working directly for the competitor, why wouldn't they share our content? Why wouldn't we reach out to them and give them a reason to want to follow us as well? Maybe resharing something that they shared. So there's one place to start. I would put a lot of those influencers into some sort of tracking mechanism. We like a tool called BuzzStream. Number 2, who are the industry experts that are not currently employed by a competitor that we can make our brand ambassadors? So a specific industry, micro-influencer who talks a lot about a particular topic that's in our industry, that isn't just sort of a Joe Schmo who has an interest in it, but an actual industry influencer, maybe a book author, maybe somebody who spoke at a conference, maybe somebody who switched careers recently because they found a bigger opportunity even though they still are passionate about our industry. Number 3, have we contributed in one way or another to the industry websites, or if you're a local business, to the local websites that are in the area? Think about that. So if we are able to contribute something to all those different industry websites, which you're going to find, when you do your link research, or if you're using Ahrefs and running an intersecting link report, you're going to know what the industry websites are. I know our industry websites, right? Search Engine Land, Search Engine Journal, inbound.org, Moz, and the Moz community. So there's all these different places, these communities that we interact that are specific to our industry. How have we contributed to that? Did we donate some content? How about a study? Why don't we take our data that we already know about our customers and extrapolate that and create some sort of a useful report? Or why don't we run a study and then just donate that study to one of these industry portals? I know we want to become the authoritative source for content, but while we're building that authority, let's go ahead and give up some of that. Maybe next year we'll do the study for us, but this year let's give that to one of those industry portals, because we want to earn a reputation and get some great referral traffic from it. What programs do we have in place to donate time, expertise, and mentoring to students and startups? You've got to create a program that is something to give back to people who are later going to be in your position, or those businesses that are trying really hard to get on their feet but don't have the financial means or the resources to do what you do. I think that's a great place to earn some visibility. The students and college newsletters will share and talk about the great things that you're doing. You can do a whole case study. You can do a internship program. All those kind of things really generate great links. What events are we scheduled to contribute to, or our top expert? If we pull our top expert from the team and say, I want you to go speak at this industry event, that's a great way to get on the roster, get a link from an industry event website, drive some referral traffic, and build some brand awareness. Next, number 6, how have we completed, some sort of authoritative work, like maybe a book, or we've created something online that's, or a physical piece of material, whether it's a book or an information product or something that makes us appear as an authority, because we organized what we know in a way that makes it understandable for others, and we sold that, and by doing so we've sort of become an authority. Doing something like that, Tim Ash did that really well with his site optimization book that he has. It's amazing if you haven't read it yet. He's done that. He posted all over his website and says, look, I'm an authority in this. Warren Whitlock, right, social media expert, has 2 books, or 3 books now, I think. One of them is Twitter Revolution, and another one's Profitable Social Media. So he builds his reputation by creating works that help others, authoritative works. And this one's very similar. So when you get into thinking about talking about authoritative information products, what if we created an online guide, not a download, not an actual physical book, but we created an ultimate guide to something in our industry? So if we're a plumber, ultimate guide to basic plumbing, ultimate guide to fixing your sink with video and diagram and walkthroughs and who to call and what to do and what parts to use. The authoritative guide on whatever that is. And then you do a little bit of outreach to people who talk about similar content who are our competitors. Give them some of those assets that they can use and just ask in return, give us attribution for it. I think if you do that, you build a lot more authority. Google will find those references, hopefully some links as well, and that'll help you in your link building strategy. All right, number 8. What tool or CRM are you using to keep track of your link building efforts? I mentioned BuzzStream before. It's a great way to create some projects like unlinked mentions and maybe some of the old school passe, broken link projects that you might have. The intersecting link report that we ran against the competitors. Maybe it is a toxic link project that we have to clean up some links that an agency or a competitor might have done to do negative SEO. Using something like that to allow you to prevent going after links that you've already earned from a specific domain, and making sure that they're staying up to date, so you get notified if one goes down. It's not going to be something you can do with a Google Sheet. 3 years from now, your Google Sheet will be 6,000 rows long and exhaustive, and just not something that's manageable. So use a CRM. BuzzStream is our favorite. Number 9, Are we maximizing our social media profiles by staying in the industry conversations that happen every day and sharing industry studies and blog posts and free advice? I think if we're really maximizing social media, not just to say, buy my service, but to actually produce and share some really helpful content. 5 ways that you can improve your SEO, 20 ways that you can build an SEO strategy for 2017 with content and links, right? Kind of practicing what we preach there. Taking into consideration all the things that really benefit our followers in our industry, and sharing that kind of content through social media and staying up to date with what's happening. So I have Twitter lists for SEO experts I follow, conversion experts I follow, usability experts I follow, and every morning I spend 20 to 30 minutes just reading through what's happening and what's new and what's important. Last one for 2017 link building. Does our website offer the best industry glossary on keywords that people would use in our industry? Better than Wikipedia, with diverse media and references and quotes from experts. Can we create a better page than Wikipedia? I think we can, because I think the Wikipedia authors are stingy and feel like everyone in the world just wants to use Wikipedia for SEO, even though it's like no follow links. It's still great for knowledge graph and other things. So if you can create a better page than Wikipedia with better illustration and better video and better quotes and better external resources without having to go through the Wikipedia egomaniacal editor process, and create the better page for a particular word, why not be the industry source for that particular word? And when people want to learn what that is, guess who Google is going to display? When somebody goes to their Google Home or to Alexa or to Siri and they say, hey Google or hey Alexa, and they ask what is such and such, the first thing they're going to say is according to, and they're going to say your name, according to your brand, this is the answer. And that's a fantastic way to build authority and to be thinking about 2018 and how people are going to be using voice search a lot more. I think it's really important to have weekly SEO meetings too. So this is beyond the content and links. If you have this weekly SEO meeting where everybody's holding themselves accountable to the tasks that they put into the project management system, the webmaster has his list of tech tasks, content writer knows what persuasive content they're going to work on to attract customers, and what's going on with that living, breathing document for content marketing. All those how to, where to, why to questions that you put in your learning center, not your blog. Your blog has a time to it. It gets older and older over time, and nobody clicks on a listing in Google that has 2011 on the date on it. So put all that evergreen content into a learning center, and that content person every week should be sitting down and saying, here's what I'm working on to drive customers, here's what I'm working on to attract links and to sort of trigger our remarketing and get in earlier on in the buying cycle. And of course the outreach person. What am I doing to connect with influencers, micro-influencers, and industry sites and local sites to try to grow our visibility online? It doesn't hurt to have a few consultants in there as well. If there's one or two that you feel have a good enough reputation, they got some great case studies, include them in those conversations. Even better, include them if you were able to get an SEO strategy for them, thinking about links and content and overall strategy for the year and keywords. What are we going to do for 2017? Get those SEO consultants involved in the conversation. I think you'll get one, a viewpoint from somebody who's not in the company, sort of an outside view or outside perspective, and then 2, it gives a little bit more accountability to the resources of someone that they kind of indirectly report to with regards to progress and pushing through that roadmap for 2017. If there's anything that I can do, you can tweet me. I'm just SEO Steve, or anyone at our company, which is Wiideman, Wiideman on Twitter. And we're happy to help with whatever questions you might have. And if you've got some ideas for 2017, I want to hear about them. If it's a good enough idea, I will update the post where I'm going to post this video and include your idea and a link to your website if it's that great. And hopefully you'll have a successful 2017, and next year we'll do this again and talk about some things that you can do in 2018. This is Steve Wiideman. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.